Hello guys, Lego Master Reviews here, and today I'll be showcasing my custom Lego minifigures from Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. And I know you're thinking this is not a lot of customs for a custom Lego minifigure showcase, and that's actually because instead of making a bunch of different like torsos and stuff, I decided to make one really great torso for like the outfits they wear in the movie. And then I actually made like a bunch of different heads for different characters, which you'll see me showing you how to build, and I actually made a few different accessories for characters as well, and there's also a few modifications for certain characters, so you'll see that throughout the video. And also I did make a few other like separate characters, and before we jump on into this video, I just want to say there will be no spoilers for the new Ghostbusters movie. I will not be spoiling like any characters or just anything at all, so you don't have to worry about that if you haven't seen the movie. But with that out of the way, let's jump right on into this video. I'm going to start out by showing you how to build this torso here, which is basically like their snow outfits or like ice outfits for when Garraka shows up. And for that, I got the legs from the CMF Series 16 Hiker minifigure. Then the torso is from George Costanza from the Lego Seinfeld set. The arms are from the Disney CMF Series 2. I really like the detailing on the side there. I think that looks really great. Then I just put light nougat hands, but for certain characters you have to swap out those hands. And then you can also see I added a proton pack, and you can basically get this from any Ghostbusters minifigure. This one in particular I believe is from Peter Venkman, but again, any proton pack will work. But that's how you build the torso, but now I'll show you the different heads. The first head I'm going to show you how to build is the Gary Gruberson head, and for this you're going to get the head from Ryan Howard from the Office set. Then I got the hair from this dark brown hair from Bucky from the Marvel CMF Series 1. I think this combo works really good. I like the look of it a lot personally. And then for like, accessories, you can give them this ghost trap, or you can even get this like translucent red accessory and attach it to the proton pack there. It's really up to you, but regardless, I think this head and hair combo works really well and looks a lot like Paul. Next up is Callie Spangler, and for her I got the head from Marianne from the Lego Indiana Jones Escape from the Lost Tomb set. Then the head is from the Lego Harry Potter CMF Series 1 Queenie minifigure. I think it looks really great, honestly. I'm really happy how this one turned out. And then you can also give her a ghost trap as an accessory, or even some like blast effects if you wanted to. But again, I'm really happy how this one looks, and I'm pretty happy how. Next up is Phoebe Spangler, and basically everything here is the same like torso wise, but then the legs are from Dustin Henderson from the Lego Stranger Things set. Then the head is from Harry Potter from the Lego Green God set, but you can really get a head from like any Harry Potter minifigure. Then the hair is from Phyllis Vance from the Lego Office set, and overall I think with the legs and the head it looks really great here. And again, you could really add any like Ghostbuster accessories. Next up is Trevor Spangler, and the head is from Mike Wheeler, and it's actually the same actor, Finn Wolfhard, so I think the head works really well. Then the hair is from Paul Atreides, but you can get that off a lot of other minifigures too. And then I gave him like a translucent green piece from Harry Potter, but any translucent green piece would work. And that's mainly to represent the like scenes he has with Slimer throughout the movie that you can see in the trailers. So I think that's pretty funny, and it's a nice accessory to give him, and I'm really happy how this one looks, and I think that head is perfect. Next up is Lucky, and for her you're going to want to get the hands and hair from Mordo from the Lego Sanctum Sanctorum set. Then the head is from Ironheart from the Lego Black Panther Wakanda Forever sets. Unfortunately, you will have to remove the proton pack because it actually blocks the hairpiece, but still I think this custom does look great even without that, and I'm really happy how this one looks. Here is Podcast, and for him you're going to want to get the legs from Dustin Henderson to make him around the same size as Phoebe. Then the head is from the Lego BTS set, and he has some dark brown tousled up hair. Then I gave him this custom like mic stick for like his podcast here, and you can see I just used like this black like stick piece. Then I just used a stud with a hole inside of it, and then I added a clip piece, and then just like a normal like microphone piece there. I think it looks really great here, and definitely adds a lot to this custom. I honestly think this is one of the best customs I made in this showcase. Here is Ray Stantz, and for him, everything is basically the same, but then I got the head from the actual Ray Stantz minifigure. I honestly think it works really great here, even though he's obviously a bit older in this movie, but still I think it does look really great for him. And honestly, you can swap the head around if you wanted to. Then I just got this kind of like widow's peak like black hair here. I think that works really great as well, and I'm really happy how this custom turned out. Especially since this is the normal Ray Stantz. Next up is Winston Zedmore, and for him, I got the head from Grief Cargo. You could use the head from the original Winston minifigure, but I think the Grief Cargo one makes him look a little bit older and more accurate to the movie. And then I gave him some light brown hands to match that head, and then the hair is from Sam Wilson Captain America. Unfortunately, you will be able to see the back face print with that hairpiece, but the proton pack kind of covers it up a little bit, so it's not that big of a deal. I also think the back face print on this head works really well for Winston too, kind of like a bit of like an angry expression. So I think that's really good as well. And overall, I think that head's a great choice. Here is Peter Venkman, and for him, I gave him the head from Creed from the Lego Office set. Then the hair is the same exact hair that the original Peter Venkman used, just in gray this time. And I really think this head looks a lot like an older version of this one. So I really like the look of this all around. I think it definitely looks like kind of like an old Bill Murray. So I'm very happy with what I decided to use here, and I think this is one of the best customs I made in this show. And for any of you that still wanted to have your traditional Ghostbusters uniform, I still recommend using these legs from the CMF Series 16 Hiker minifigure, just because that dual molding adds a lot of detail. Then you can basically use any Ghostbusters torso, and you definitely want to have the arms that are printed with the Ghostbusters logo and like the shoulder pads. They had a lot of detail. And then also, you want to have your proton pack, but that's basically what I recommend if you want to have like the traditional Ghostbusters suit. And now I'll show you what the different heads look like. Here's what Gary Gruberson looks like. I think he looks really cool, honestly. Here's Callie Spangler, and once again, I think this looks really awesome. This is what Trevor Spangler looks like with the Ghostbusters uniform. Here's what Lucky looks like in the Ghostbusters uniform, and everything is basically the same, but I did actually swap out the torso for Winston's torso, just so a little bit of skin there can match the head, but you could honestly use the other Ghostbusters torso, and it really wouldn't make that much of a difference. I also had to remove the proton back for that hairpiece once again, but still, I think this minifigure does look. Here's what Phoebe Spangler looks like in the Ghostbusters uniform, and for her, you're actually going to want to swap out the legs for the Dustin Henderson ones just to make her a little bit more accurate. Here's what Podcast looks like, and just like Phoebe, I gave him the legs from the Dustin Henderson minifigure, and then I also gave him his accessory that I showed you how to build earlier. Here's what Ray Stantz looks like, and you can see here all the detailing just adds so much to this minifigure, and it was a no-brainer to swap out the torso for the one that had his initials on there. Winston looks absolutely amazing here, and obviously I swapped out the torso for his official torso there. I think it looks amazing. With those dual molded legs, it adds so much detail. And lastly, here is Peter Venkman, and I think this torso looks especially great on him because it has his initials. And here we have a character outside of a Ghostbusters uniform, and that is Nadeem. I'm really happy how this custom turned out. I gave him the legs, torso, and arms from the Harry Potter CMF minifigure. Then the head and hands are from Kingo from the Eternals, and then the hair is from Hawkeye from the Marvel CMF Series 2. And if you didn't know, Kingo is actually played by the same actor that plays Nadeem, so I think the head work is especially good. Then I gave him this orb from Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy, and I won't say what this orb is just because I know some people might consider it a spoiler, but if you've seen the movie, you know what that is. But once again, I'm really happy how this custom turned out, especially that. And here we have Garraka, and this was such a hard character to make. The design for him in the movie is just so unique, and it's really hard to transition that into Lego minifigure form. But I stumbled upon Mini Superheroes today's video of his Ghostbusters showcase, and he made a really great Garraka, so some of the stuff here is inspired by his custom, but I did change up a few things. But we'll just take a look at it right now. You can see I used the stand from the Baron Harkonnen minifigure, and then the cloth piece is also from the Baron Harkonnen. And everything, it just looks really great, and it's such a unique piece, and it really works great for his character. And then the arms and legs are from Jake Sully, but you can use any of the Avatar minifigures, but the long arms and legs really work for his character as well. Then I gave him some Wolverine claws, just because his nails are super long in the movie, and it's just something I really wanted to represent here. I think it looks really good. Then the head was something that was really hard to come up with. I was normally originally gonna give him a minifigure head, but I just really couldn't find one that worked, so I stumbled upon this Geonosian head. And I think it works really well, and it kind of has that same shaping, so I think that looks pretty good. And then back here was another great idea by Mini Supers today to use this neck bracket and this piece here. Then I use these different kind of longer pieces for the horns. He used a bit of smaller ones, but regardless, I think it looks great here. I think it definitely represents his horns very well, and you can even kind of angle them a bit if you wanted to, kind of point them more forward or something. But this was definitely a really hard custom to come up with. I know it doesn't look great, but still I'm very happy how it looks, and this was such a unique character design. This is a villain design in general, so definitely one I had to make. It was just really complicated. I also wanted to build a few of the little ghosts from the movie here. So you can see these are supposed to be Stay Puft, the mini Stay Puft Marshmallow Men. It's really hard to make these guys, so I just decided to make them microfigs, kind of what the midi scale sets do. I think they do look pretty good. And another option is just take the actual Stay Puft Marshmallow Man minifigure and just put some mini legs on them. But even then, it wouldn't be that accurate to scale. But that is part of the better option. But if you want ones the scale that aren't going to cost you a lot, this is a great option. This is 2 white studs and a blue stud. And you can honestly just do 1 white stud because they're really tiny in the movie. And then here is supposed to be Pukey, and if you don't know who that is, you can see him back there. It's a Funko Pop of him. But I think this head works a lot. It's from the Demogorgon, but it has the teeth and it's kind of rolled up. So I thought that looked really good. And you can even see here I made this little accessory here. So you kind of just place this on top of the head. You can see here it makes it look like it's puking, kind of in his name, Pukey. But I think that looks really funny there. And I also thought that this Dragon Egg from the Lego Gringotts set looked really well. And you can even use this accessory on it. All you really have to do is just take this piece and then just place it upwards instead of downwards. And then you just place it on this egg piece here, and you can see the egg can also puke, or I guess Pukey can puke, so really up to you and whichever one you like more. But this one does have a little bit more detailing, but still I wanted to include them in this video because you can't have a Ghostbusters video without ghosts. But that's going to do it for my custom Lego minifigure showcase for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Please let me know in the comments down below which custom I made here is your favorite. I know this was a bit of a different type of showcase where I built the torso and kind of showed you different heads to put on there, but let me know in the comments down below which head you think works best. And also let me know what you thought of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire in the comments. I'd really love to know. I personally thought it was a really fun and enjoyable movie, and I really enjoyed my time with it, but let me know what you thought of it in the comments. And thank you so much for taking the time of day to watch this video. I truly do appreciate it, and as always, keep on busting.